Welcome to the world of the Vikings, a realm defined by daring raids, fierce warriors, and larger-than-life legends. Among these legends, one name stands out: Eric Bloodaxe. This guy's story is not just about blood and battles, though. It's filled with ambition, betrayal, and a relentless quest for power. So sit back and join us as we delve into the extraordinary life of one of history's most infamous Viking kings. Born in the mid-10th century, Eric was the son of Harald, the first king of Norway. Now, Harald wasn't just any king, he was the unifier, a guy who carved out a kingdom from the chaos of rival chieftains. Imagine growing up in that environment, where every lesson learned came with the weight of your father's legacy on your shoulders. Eric grew up in a world where strength, cunning, and ruthlessness were key to survival. After Harald's death, Norway fragmented into competing factions, and suddenly everyone was vying for control of the kingdom. Think of it as a high-stakes game of musical chairs, but with swords, axes, and a lot of blood. Eric emerged as a key player in this deadly game, fueled by ambition and a fierce desire to reclaim his father's legacy. Eric's rise to power was anything but smooth. He had to deal with his own brothers who were just as eager for the throne as him. Viking society was all about showing strength, and Eric had plenty of it. He was a man who believed in taking what he rightfully earned, and he wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty. As a warrior king, Eric didn't sit back and wait for opportunities to come to him. He created them. After a series of bloody battles, he managed to claim the throne in Norway. But of course, this wasn't the fairy tale ending he had hoped for. After facing relentless challenges at home, Eric found himself exiled from Norway. So what does a Viking do when he's kicked out of his homeland? He hops on a ship and goes raiding. Naturally. Eric set his sights on the coast of England and Scotland, and he carved a path of destruction wherever he went. In 948, Eric seized the chance to conquer York, a significant city in Northumbria. This bold move was pivotal, not just for him, but for the Viking influence in the British Isles. It's here that he earned the notorious nickname Bloodaxe, a title that struck fear into the hearts of his enemies. Which, you can understand why. His name's Bloodaxe. But picture Eric striding through the streets of York, demanding tribute and fealty from local nobility, while his reputation grew. But as they say, every king has enemies, and Eric was no exception. The Anglo-Saxon nobility saw him as a threat, and whispers of rebellion began to echo through the halls. The power he wielded came at a cost, and the ground beneath him was becoming increasingly shaky. Eric's time in York was tumultuous. While he was feared, he was also resented. It's a classic case of power. You can have it, but you better be ready for those who want to take it away from you. Eric's reign turned into a constant struggle to maintain his authority amid growing dissent. As the pressure mounted, Eric found himself fighting not just enemies outside his walls, but also former allies. His reign in York, once a time of glory, became increasingly fraught with danger. By 954, his enemies grew bolder, and he was ultimately ousted from York. But determined to reclaim his throne, Eric returned to Norway. But history had a cruel twist in store for him. The very treachery that had marked his rise would now dictate his fall. In a final confrontation, Eric Bloodaxe met his end, betrayed by those he once trusted. Imagine the scene: a fierce warrior fighting valiantly, surrounded by enemies and the weight of betrayal heavy on his shoulders. He died as he lived, sword in hand, a true Viking to the last. Though his life was cut short, the legend of Eric Bloodaxe continues to grow. His story has become woven into the fabric of Viking lore, inspiring sagas and tales that would be told for generations. Eric Bloodaxe may have faded into the shadows of history, but his legacy remains vibrant. He represents the heart of the Viking Age, a time defined by ambition, bravery, and the brutal reality of power struggles. Today we remember Eric not just for his brutal reign, but for his complexity of his character. A man caught in relentless tides of history. As we reflect on his life, we see the universal themes of ambition, loyalty, and betrayal that resonate even today. When we talk about figures like Eric Bloodaxe, it's easy to see them as just warriors or kings, but they were people too. They had dreams, fears, families. Eric's life reminds us that power comes with a price, and sometimes the greatest battles are fought within ourselves. The Viking Age may have ended long ago, but the spirit lives on in the tales we tell and the history we cherish. Eric Bloodaxe is just one chapter in this incredible saga, but his story reflects the complexities of a world where loyalty and betrayal danced hand in hand. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing, and if the funds are available, please support our Patreon. And before I let you go, I just want to say, lots of these tales that I've been telling on my channel have been somewhat fictitious in the fact that they might have been real, but chances are maybe not as well. So take it with a grain of salt. I understand lots of people have been leaving comments about it, and I'm just saying lots of these are just tales that I'm telling, as you could tell by a bunch of my previous videos. So no need to leave a comment. I'm going to tell you guys here, some of these stories are fictitious and a lot of it could just entirely be fiction. But either way, if you have any suggestions or criticisms besides that one, because I've already said that one, please leave it in the comments. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.